Traditionally, in the Zelda series, the hero of a certain era is defined by many things. Usually, in every iteration of Link, there will always be two things in common. The hero will be the pinnacle of courageousness, and the hero will possess the spirit of the hero, passed down through generations. So what happens when you get a hero who doesn't have that spirit, who chooses to save people not as his divine duty, but just because he wants to help those closest to him? Well, then you would get the Hero of Winds. The Hero of Winds story is all based around choosing your destiny. It poses the question of, is Link a hero because he is chosen, or is he chosen because he's a hero? Without further ado, let's jump into the story of the Hero of Wind, starting with the Winds of Change. We start with Link sleeping, typical, on a crow's nest in his home Outset Island. Link is woken by Ariel, his little sister. This version of Link is the only one to have a direct sibling, or at least one that we see on screen. This is a huge part of what sets him apart from the other iterations and shows how really unique the Hero of Winds is. Link is then reminded that since it's his 12th birthday, he needs to adhere to the Outset Island tradition of dressing in the hero's clothes, modeled after the legendary Hero of Time, who we get to see a nice little reference here. After putting on the new clothes, Link and Ariel witness a pirate ship in rapid chase of a red bird, which Link spots carrying a blonde girl. The pirate ship shoots a cannonball, which nails the bird, causing it to crash land into a high point of Outset Island. Link goes to his mentor Orca, who gives him a blade he can use to brave the forest of monsters. Link eventually is able to save the blonde girl, who introduces herself as Tetra, captain of the pirate ship that had been chasing the bird. As Link and Tetra return to the beach where her ship was docked, Link waves back to his sister. As Ariel returns Link's gaze, the giant bird from earlier, known as the Helmarock King, swoops down and nabs Ariel. The Rito postman Quill informs Link and Tetra that the Helmarock King has been going across the Great Sea, taking away young girls with blonde hair. Initially, Tetra attempts to back out and insists it's really not her problem, but Quill intervenes and points out that Ariel would not have been taken in the first place without Tetra's presence. Tetra gives in, reluctantly offering to bring Link to the Forsaken Fortress where the Helmarock King lives in her pirate ship. Link waves goodbye to his grandma as he sets off for a journey of the ages. Once the ship arrives in the Forsaken Fortress, Tetra has the unique idea to catapult Link across the walls of the fortress. Much to Link's chagrin, Tetra convinces him to go through with the plan, and Link makes it over the walls and into the fortress. Link sneaks around the fortress, eventually reaching the peak where he discovers the cell that Ariel is being kept in. Unfortunately, the Helmarock King swoops in and grabs Link, carrying him to the master of the fortress, a large, intimidating man with red hair and dark robes. The man doesn't bother with words, just gesture for the beast to be rid of Link. The Helmarock King throws Link far off sea. Link wakes up with a red boat by his side. To his shock and awe, the boat speaks to him, introducing himself as the King of Red Lions. The boat explains that the man with red hair is named Ganondorf, the very same from the legends of the Hero of Time. After his defeat, Ganondorf was able to come back from his ceiling, and the people of Hyrule prayed for a new hero to descend to defeat him. Unfortunately, due to Zelda's time shenanigans, the spirit of the hero no longer resides within this timeline, resulting in the gods having to flood the land and creating the Great Sea as it is known today. Ganondorf is currently kidnapping blonde-haired, blue-eyed girls from across the sea in order to find the current incarnation of Princess Zelda, to no avail thus far. The king says to defeat Ganondorf and save his sister, Link needs to acquire the 3 goddess pearls which would allow him to wield the mystical Master Sword. He offers to carry Link wherever he needs to go, even giving him the titular Wind Waker, a conductor's baton used to conduct the ancient sages. With all the exposition out of the way, Link and the King of Red Lions set out in search of Din's Pearl on the amazing Dragon Roost Island. Link eventually meets Medli, a Rito girl who is an attendant to the Rito Prince Komali. Komali wants to get a scale from the dragon atop Dragon Roost Island, Valu, who incidentally holds the very pearl our main duo seeks. Unfortunately, Valu is enraged at the moment, leaving no one able to speak with him. Link and Medli head up to Dragon Roost Cavern, the only way to reach Valu. Medli goes missing in the cavern for a brief period, but Link is able to find and free her. Link heads for the peak of the island, eventually ending up inside the volcano, face to face with the monstrous Goma, who had been harming Valu and causing his enragement. Link defeats Goma, and Komali can finally meet Valu, who gives Link Din's Pearl as a sign of gratitude. After departing Dragon Roost Island, Link and the King of Red Lions head to the Forest Haven and attempt to seek Rory's Pearl. Here they're able to meet the Great Deku Tree, who is a sapling of the one we first saw in Ocarina of Time, and his children, the Koroks. Finally, all of them are preparing to make a great migration across the Great Sea to plant trees all over. Unfortunately, a Korok named Makar has gone missing in the Forbidden Woods. Link journeys into the woods where he obtains the boomerang and locates Makar, who is promptly eaten by the monstrous Paledemos. Link defeats the monster and saves Makar, returning him to the Deku Tree. As a sign of thanks, Link is given Ferore's Pearl. Link and the King of Red Lions journey to the home of the final pearl, Nehru's Pearl, housed at Greatfish Isle. On arrival, however, they find the island destroyed by Ganondorf's magic. The island deity Lord Jaboon, who held Nehru's Pearl, was nowhere to be found. Clues they find are able to lead our duo to Windfall Island in order for search for more clues. On arrival, Link sees Tetra and her pirates stealing bombs from a bomb store they claim to be too overpriced. Tetra gives Link permission to borrow some bombs, which he uses on Outset Island to find Lord Jaboon hiding behind a stack of boulders. The King of Red Lion convinces Jaboon that despite his lack of the hero spirit, Link is a worthy successor to the legendary hero of time, and they receive their final pearl. With all three pearls finally acquired, the King of Red Lions instructs Link to head to the center of the Great Sea where three sacred statues reside. Link puts the pearls into the statues, which causes the Tower of Gods to rise from the land beneath the Great Sea. Link enters the tower. At the top of the tower, the robot named Godon claims himself to be Link's final challenge to prove his worthiness. After his victory over Godon, Link ascends to the peak of the Tower of Gods, ringing the bell at the very top and opening a portal to the bottom of the ocean. Link and the King of Red Lions finally go through the portal and are brought down to the remnants of Hyrule Castle. There, Link is finally able to draw the Master Sword, unfreezing time all around them. After finding their way to the surface, the duo heads straight back to the Forsaken Fortress, ready for round 2. Link heads to Ganondorf. Tetra and her crew are able to rescue Ariel and all of the other girls taken by the Helmrock King. Link battles with the aforementioned bird, defeating it in stride. Keeping his roll going, Link heads to the top of the fortress, coming face to face with Ganondorf himself. He attempts to strike down Ganondorf with the Master Sword, but to his shock, it has absolutely no effect. Ganondorf boasts that not only did he murder the sages years prior in order to subdue the sword's mystical power, but its placement had actually been sealing away his full power. Now, not only is the Master Sword completely useless against Ganondorf, but in drawing it, Link had actually unleashed Ganondorf's full power. Ganondorf's monologue is interrupted by Tetra, who swoops in an attempt to save Link. Ganondorf catches her, but her necklace begins to glow, responding to the Triforce of power inside of Ganondorf. Ganondorf makes the shocking realization that Tetra is the very person he'd been searching for, Princess Zelda. Link and Molly swoop in to save the two, while Volub burns the fortress down himself. Link and the King of Red Lions escort Tetra back down to Hyrule Castle, where the King of Red Lions reveals his true identity, the long-lost Hylian King, Daphnis Nohansen Hyrule. Link and the King leave Tetra behind, secured in the castle, so the two can start the search for the descendants of the sages. To start, they head to Headstone Island, where they are able to make contact with the spirit of the Earth Sage, Laruto. Laruto is able to teach Link the Earth God's lyric and instructs him to return to Dragon Roost Island. Upon the return, Link reunites with Medli, the two playing the Earth God's lyric together. This causes Medli to make the realization that she is actually the descendant of Laruto, making her the new Earth Sage. The two head back to Headstone Island and enter the Earth Temple, with Link eventually gaining the Mirror Shield and defeating the ghostly Jahal. Afterwards, Laruto's spirit is finally able to be freed, returning a piece of the Master Sword's power. With the Earth Sage freed, Link and the King head to Gale Isle, where they meet with the spirit of the Wind Sage Fado. Fado teaches Link the Wind God's aria, instructing him to return to the Forest Haven. Upon doing so, Link meets with Makar and performs the Wind God's aria, which causes Makar to awaken as the next Wind Sage. Link and Makar return to Gale Island and clear the Wind Temple, with Link acquiring the hookshot and using that to defeat the Scourge of the Temple, Mogera. Fado's soul is freed and the Master Sword is returned to its former glory. With the full force of the Master Sword, the King of Red Lions instructs Link to find the 8 pieces of the Triforce of Courage, so Link can use its full power against Ganondorf. Link sails across the Great Sea, visiting friends new and old to assemble the Triforce of Courage. Eventually, Link assembles the Triforce piece, proving himself worthy of the title of hero. Unfortunately, Link and the King of Red Lions return to Hyrule Castle, only to discover that Ganondorf has kidnapped Tetra. He's currently holding her at his tower under the sea. Once Link gets there, Link battles hordes of monsters and even the monstrous Phantom and Puppet Ganons. Once Link defeats the enemies in the tower, Ganondorf tosses him a rope to do combat with him, commending the young hero's prowess. Once climbing the rope, Link comes face to face with the Gerudo, and the two have a conversation in which Ganondorf explains his backstory, stating that he wants to use the Triforce to restore Hyrule, and he won't let anyone stand in his way. After this, he attacks Link, stealing his Triforce of Courage, takes the Triforce of Wisdom from Tetra, and assembles the full might of the Triforce. Ganondorf goes to wish on it, but is interrupted by the King of Red Lions, in the form of King Daphnis, appearing to wish on it first. The king wishes for himself, Ganondorf, and all remnants of Hyrule to be washed away, for good. Link and Tetra regain consciousness, seeing Ganondorf having a full breakdown after his plans were thwarted. Link and Tetra do battle to the van, resulting in Link driving the Master Sword through Ganondorf's head. As Hyrule is washed away, the king uses the last of his magic to send Link and Tetra back to the surface of the sea. Link reaches out desperately for the king, almost begging him to take his hand so they can return to the surface and start anew, together. King Daphnis refuses, knowing that he needs to stay with the remnants of Hyrule so that at long last, the curse of demise would be broken on the world, truly allowing it to start anew. Link and Tetra re-emerge, and the pirate crew rescue them. Weeks pass, and eventually, we see Link setting off from outside Island, once more waving farewell to Ariel and his grandma, as he, Tetra, and the pirate crew set out in search of new land to start fresh. Lost at sea. Months pass. Link, Tetra, and the pirates are in hot pursuit of a mysterious ghost ship. You're able to catch the ship, with Tetra boarding it herself. Tetra is captured and dragged into the temple, ending up in the mystical world of the Ocean King. He follows her but washes ashore at Merkin Island, where he meets an amnesiac fairy named Celia and her grandpa, Oceus. Link decides that he needs to set off on a journey to rescue Tetra from the grasp of the ghost ship, Celia opting to tag along with him. The newly formed duo goes out to find the objectively best character in this game, Linebeck. Linebeck was a famed explorer who has recently gone missing within the island's fabled Temple of the Ocean King, searching for treasure. Link and Celia are able to locate Linebeck and learn that he is nothing more than an egotistical coward. Bear with me, I promise he gets better. Link forms a shaky alliance with the egotistical explorer, and the trio sets off searching for clues for the ghost ship. Eventually, Link obtains the titular Phantom Hourglass, using it to periodically return to the Temple of the Ocean King in search of sea charts. In order to locate the ghost ship, Link needs to locate the spirits of courage, power, and wisdom. Link is quickly able to locate the spirits of power and wisdom fairly easily. When it comes time to locate the spirit of courage, it gets complicated. The spirit they find looks exactly like Celia. Using these three spirits, our trio is eventually able to uncover the location of the ghost ship, with Link boarding it. Link defeats the ghostly Cubist sisters, discovering Tetra after the battle, fully encased in stone and life force drain. Suddenly, Oceus appears. Oceus explains to Link that Celia is actually the real spirit of courage, just after being attacked by the monstrous demon, Bellum. The old man reveals that he himself is the legendary Ocean King in human form. He explains that he was forced to take this form when Bellum had drained his life force. Oceus tells Link that to return Tetra to life, he must subdue Bellum and free his full power. Much to his chagrin, Oceus promises Linebeck a single wish for whatever he wants upon restoration of the Ocean King's power after Linebeck's badgering. Link, Celia, and Linebeck travel around the rest of the world of the Ocean King and are eventually able to gather materials in order to form an incredibly powerful Phantom Sword. New sword in hand, Link travels to the depths of the Temple of the Ocean King, facing Bellum. In this battle, Link is able to drive out his spirit, restoring Tetra back from stone. Unfortunately, Bellum reforms, destroying Linebeck's prize ship, the SS Linebeck, and capturing and strangling Link, causing him to drop the Phantom Sword. In an act of true heroism, bravery, and at the cusp of his character arc, Linebeck takes the blade and slashes Bellum. Unfortunately, the monster does not take kindly to that, possessing Linebeck's body. Just before Bellum takes control, Linebeck is able to return the Phantom Sword to Link, telling the young hero to end him so that Bellum can be fully defeated. Link does battle with Bellum in his new Phantom Linebeck form, slashing him down with the Phantom Blade. The evil spirit is dispatched and Linebeck is luckily returned unharmed. As the adventure concludes, Oceus returns back to his full power. As he prepares to depart with the spirits, he turns to Linebeck, asking the man what he wishes for. In a shocking twist, Linebeck wishes not for treasure, but for the SS Linebeck's restoration. After everyone bids farewell, Tetra awaken on Tetra's ship. Pirates insist that only 10 minutes had passed, claiming the events to have been a dream. Tetra argues with the pirates that it was all real, as Link notices the now emptied Phantom Hourglass in his hand, and the SS Linebeck out in the distance. Tunnel vision forward. After the events of Phantom Hourglass, we don't know a whole lot about the Hero of Winds. We know eventually Link and Tetra will find a new landmass that they will name New Hyrule. We can assume that eventually Link and Tetra were married, possibly to one another, and Link's bloodline eventually resulted in the legendary, unstoppable force that is the Hero of Trains. The Hero of Winds has a long and exciting life, one full to the brim of adventure and triumph. What his story teaches us is one of maturity. From the start of Wind Waker to the end of Phantom Hourglass, the hero of winds is one that grows a shocking amount. He goes from a timid but brave island boy to a hero whose legend is passed down for generations in New Hyrule. The young boy makes such an impact in every interaction that he has with people, being one of the most expressive Links and generating quite possibly my favorite screenshot in Zelda history. Why is he so mad at the sword? What did it do to him? The story of the hero of winds is proof that in order to be a hero, all you need is the courage to help where you can.